Hi friends, it's Friday, September 12th, 2014. Lynn and Jamie here, continuing our assignment in the D.C. area. When asking what our assignment was for our work today, it was very confusing. We were told today is Deal with Reality Day, a day to deal with reality. But we couldn't tell where it was we were supposed to do our session. We could tell which direction in which to head on the road, and then which direction in which to head, and which direction in which to head. And now we find ourselves in the center of a corporate office park that's devoted to military contractors in front of an interesting sign. It's in the background. It says, "Warning, restricted area ahead. Authorized personnel only." And right here is where we're supposed to do our session. Who knows why? And there's a job ticket. It's enough. We can start with these minimal instructions and have a beautiful session. Now it begins. Taking pictures of the reflex of reaction of getting short when we get afraid. It's like, boy, oh boy, look at this disaster of a reflex I've got going on here, right? Opening up the flap at the back of the head. Oh, gross. Opening up the flap at the back of the head and taking the pictures, because I think that's where that reflex comes from, right? It occurs to me that this flap at the back of the head has to do with what some call the reptilian brain, where our mini-me thinking is lodged.
Yeah.
And so perhaps this reflexive reaction of getting short with our energy bodies when we get afraid is lodged in the reptilian brain. It could be. Could be.
Check me on this. Could it be that that reflexive reaction, form of self-sabotage?
Oh, clearly,
that feels
clearly
true.
A form of self-sabotage, because in difficult situations what we need most
is to get long.
is to get really long. That's how clarity arises, and that's where protection comes from.
Right.
Getting really long, anchored into source below and source above, as thin as is necessary to maintain the anchor. When we get afraid, we feel like we have to shrink, and so let's detangle the confusion. We feel like we have to shrink, and how we choose to shrink is to get short. So if we feel like we must shrink, then at least shrink horizontally, retaining the length of our energy body, getting as thin as is needed to retain the length while we shrink. Now, do we really need to shrink? No, we don't.
No.
However, let's detangle the confusion, because right now we've got a train wreck going in our reflexes to scary situations. We as a biosphere have a train wreck going in our reflexes to scary situations. First things first, let's retain our anchor into source, or at least get one in the first place. Like, oh, wow, it's such a disaster. It's such a disaster. Look around us. Look around us for the energy bodies. Is anything anchored into source below and source above?
No.
Well, let's take as our working theory that very little is anchored into source below and source above. If there is something anchored into source below and source above, it's less than 5%, less than 2%, less than 1%. Less than 1% of sentient beings are anchored into source below and source above.
That's definitely true.
Yeah, so 99-point-something% don't have an anchoring into source below and source above. So let's start to develop that anchoring. Now on Get Real Day, what do we acknowledge?
Reality.
Reality. 99-point-something% of life on Earth is not anchored into source below and source above. This probably explains the need to start again, right? The need to start again. Let's start again. We've lost our underpinnings. Reset. Press the reset button.
Reset.
Who among us doesn't have this pattern of losing our underpinnings? We all do this. Me too, me too, me too, me too.
All of us.
Get long, opening up wider to source below, noticing how I wish to keep our old life means that we create lead barriers to the upward flow of source energy. Stay away from me, stinky upward rising earth energy, because I know you're going to blow apart my old life, and I want my old life to just stay the same. Is that going to blow apart anyway?
Yes.
The old life is going anyway, right?
Right.
So let's just remove our barriers. We can all do it. I'm doing it. Join me if you wish. Removing our barriers and handing them in as evidence. Look what I'm doing. Look how crazy I am. Look how insane I am. I'm barricading source, keeping it out of my life in just my insanity and my craziness. Goodbye, old life. And we notice how the earth is being like opened up and spun like in a centrifuge, and things are flying out of it. It's evidence. And so we just turn it in. Look how crazy we all are. We're just insane here all the time. Me too, me too, me too, me too. All of us insane. Goodbye, old life. Goodbye, old life. It's over. It's Get Real Day.
It is over.
It's over. It's over. So just acknowledging it is very helpful. Letting go of the things that hold us back, that keep us trapped in the illusion. It seems to be an essential part of the recipe. When I see it on the recipe list and there are things that substitutions can be made and the recipe will still work,
right,
and things that no substitutions will work, nothing else works but this, and the getting rid of the stuff that turns us backwards seems to be pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
Stuff might include people,
people, ideas.
Yes. Tangible objects, other humans, ideas, other non-human sentient beings.
Yeah.
Anything that holds us backward, that gets us turned backward, it's essential that we let go of. Part of Get Real Day is to let go of the stuff that we have to let go of. We're messing it up all the time.
All the time.
All the time. The only question is, are we wrong again, or are we still wrong? And so on Get Real Day, it's important to acknowledge that those are the two choices. Are we wrong again, or are we still wrong? And that we're all of us messing up all the time, and not to use that as an excuse to stop.
Right.
But we've been given a preview of if today were show and tell time. Whew,
it's a sorry, sad state.
It's a sorry, sad, ugly
state.
state. I want more on my tray.
I want more on my tray.
I can do more. And so one thing I can do is stop pretending that I get to hold on to my old life.
Yes.
Because that is over. Stop pretending I get to hold on to my old ideas. Because that's over. Stop pretending I get to hold on to anything. That's over. It's over. Let it go.
It's over. Let it go.
Get tall. Get long. And we notice how the atoms in our energy body, we don't have a quorum.
Right.
We don't have 2/3 of our atoms going vertical. We don't have 1% of our atoms going vertical. It's 0.0001. It's as many of our atoms are going vertical as there are people anchored into source. And so we see how we're a microcosm of the biosphere. We've got the same terrible ratio. Okay, we may have to move because that truck in front of us is looking at us. Boeing, Proteus, Praxis, STG, Booz Allen, IBM, Raytheon, Cytec, Excelis, Lockheed Martin. More and more and more and more names that are known to be government contractors. It was time for us to move because there was somebody taking an interest in us, we'll say, and our assignment is to drive to Florida tomorrow, and therefore we can't be arrested today. It's bad timing. We have no objection to being arrested, but it's bad timing, not now, because our guides, the guides, not our guides, the full assembly of guides has said to us, pack it up. We were working with our fundamental assignment of triggering the awakening, getting a critical mass of energy to go vertical, to remove the focus from the horizontal, to live from source, to live live in accordance with the reality that life is truly between us and Source. Everything else is the persistent illusion. Let go of that horizontal alignment. Let go of what other people think. Let go of getting our needs met by others of any species. For example, with our food. It's commonly accepted, evaluate for truth, is it commonly accepted that humans should not eat other human beings?
It's true.
Yes, that's wrong. We shouldn't eat each other, right?
Right.
However, are humans fundamentally different from other sentient beings like other animals?
No.
Do other animals have guides?
Yes.
Do other animals have soul plans?
Yes.
Where's the dividing line between us and them? They have souls, they have guides, they have soul plans. If it's not okay to eat humans, how can it be okay to eat other animals, right?
That's true.
However, do plants also have souls and guides and soul plans
Yeah.
that they may or may not be living with, right?
Right.
Because we've seen a lot of plants that are not living their soul plan, right?
That's true.
So if they're not living their soul plan, obviously they have a soul plan, right?
Right.
So if they're souls and have soul plans and have guides, they're fundamentally the same as humans who are souls more than they are humans, right? They're just souls incarnating as plants, right?
That's true.
Right. And so how can it be okay to eat them? Right?
Right.
How is it any different than with animals? It's not okay to eat animals. It's also not okay to eat plants. It's not okay to eat other humans. It's not okay to eat other animals. It's not okay to eat other life forms. It's not okay to require other beings to give us nourishment to live. Right?
That's true.
It's not okay to require others to make a sacrifice to meet our needs. Right?
That's true.
Life is between us and Source. All else is the extraordinarily persistent illusion. Life is between us and Source. That is what to acknowledge on Get Real Day, right?
Right.
It's not okay to require other life, other sentient beings to meet our needs. Life is between us and Source. Meet our needs ourselves.